If you feel like you do pretty good all day and then suddenly find yourself in the pantry at night looking for something sweet, you are not alone. And you don't just need more willpower. Nighttime sugar cravings are one of the most common things I hear from women over 40. You get through the day, you take care of everyone, you push through the stress, the work, the kids, the meals, the laundry, and the mental load. And then finally, the house is quiet. That's when the cravings hit. And so many women think, why don't I just have more willpower? Why can't I just find more willpower to fight through? And then they feel guilty afterwards for eating something sweet or carby. But here's the truth that most women don't hear. Sugar cravings are usually not a willpower problem. They're often a signal. Your body may be asking for more nourishment, more balance, more rest, more support, or even just a moment to breathe. So instead of judging the craving, we want to get curious. That's what we're going to talk about today. So why nighttime cravings happen in the first place? There's actually a reason for it. So if you're sitting there feeling like, well, it's just my lack of willpower, I actually have a whole list of things that might be happening for you that are causing these cravings. Number one, you may not be eating enough earlier in the day. This one is actually huge. Many women try and cut calories, and especially if they're trying to lose weight, or they might just be busy. And maybe they didn't get a full breakfast, they didn't get a full lunch. And so then by the end of the day, their body is looking for more food to eat. It's looking for nourishment. It's looking for fuel. So if breakfast or lunch is too light, your body's going to look for quick energy later. Does it crave chicken and carrot sticks? Of course not. It's going to crave things that have the highest amount of calories that are quick. That usually looks like crackers, chips, ice cream, cookies, things that are easy, tasty, high in calories, quick energy for your body. So this is really a very normal thing for your body to be asking for if it's undernourished. Easier to be undernourished than you think. Once you start tracking and finding out, well, how many calories do I actually eat? How much protein do I actually eat? You may discover that you are undernourished, and that's why you're having cravings later. Another reason why nighttime cravings happen is that you may not be getting enough quality protein. Protein helps stabilize your blood sugar and keeps you satisfied longer. So if you're having a lot of carbs or other types of foods aside from that protein, then your blood sugar might be spiking, and then it drops very quickly, and that creates a craving. So we want to keep that blood sugar on a steady path throughout the day, and we do that with protein. And so that's actually the next point, is your blood sugar may be on a roller coaster. It starts oftentimes with breakfast. If we're having oats or toast or a muffin or just coffee for breakfast, then our blood sugar tends to spike and then drop quickly, and then we are craving something sweet or carby to bring that blood sugar back up, except that then it spikes again, and now you've created a loop, and you're on the blood sugar roller coaster. That's going to create cravings when you get to the end of the day. Stress is another thing that creates these cravings. So when your nervous system is on overload, your body often looks for comfort and quick energy. So if you are noticing a lot of stress throughout the day, whether it's job-related, family-related, anything, any reason that you might be stressed, it could be creating these cravings when you get to the end of the day because of having so much stress on board. Another thing that's really important for women to think about is if you're emotionally depleted. Sometimes cravings is less about the food and it's less about the calories, it's less about the fuel. Maybe you had enough fuel throughout the day. And it's more about needing comfort or quiet or pleasure or a break or even a reward for being so good throughout the day or having a hard day. These are all important emotions to recognize and to know that this is a normal part of your body. And it's almost actually primal for food to give you that comfort. There are things that we can do about that, but we have to know the difference between whether your cravings are from not eating enough and undernourishing, or if they're because your cup's not full and you need to nourish your mind, body, and soul before anything else. Another thing is poor sleep. So if you're noticing that your sleep isn't good, maybe there's snoring involved, maybe it's taking care of small children or elderly dogs. That's one that comes up quite often. Maybe it's aches and pains keeping you up. Maybe your bladder is keeping you up. There's so many different things that could be interfering with your sleep. And poor sleep can cause cravings. So when you're tired, your body's going to just naturally look for fast sugar. And that's usually in the form of sugar. It's looking for fast energy, which is in the form of sugar. And then, of course, perimenopause and hormonal shifts can make this even louder. So hormone shifts can impact sleep, which then creates cravings. It can impact your ability to have a steady blood sugar, which then impacts cravings. It can impact your mood, your stress, and ultimately then that all impacts cravings. So I want you to think about this, what your cravings might actually mean at night. It might mean that you need more protein. Maybe you need a real meal. Maybe you need more real meals throughout the day. Maybe you need to stabilize your blood sugar, or you need more rest, or you need some comfort. Maybe you need a break, and maybe you need to stop running on empty. This is why I don't want you to fight your body. I don't want you to sit there and use willpower to get through the cravings. We have to get to the root of the cravings. I want you to learn from your body. I want you to listen to your body and start becoming aware of what could actually be creating those cravings so that then you can fix them. Now, let's talk about what does actually fix them, or at least help. Couple things that are really helpful. Number one is to build balanced meals earlier in the day, starting with breakfast. Aim for quality protein with your breakfast, healthy fats, produce like vegetables and fruits, and fiber-rich carbs. The more of those types of foods you eat, the less of the snacky foods you're going to need, and it's going to be a whole lot easier to get through a craving. Prioritize protein at breakfast. That's something that is such an easy fix that will change the trajectory of your day when you start your day with plenty of protein. A lot of times people are aiming for 30 grams of protein, and that works for many women. This can make a huge difference in the afternoon and evening cravings. Okay, now the next one might surprise you. I don't want you to tell yourself that you can't have whatever that food is in the evening that you're craving. Instead, I want you to use a delay, don't deny strategy. So what that means is, instead of denying yourself completely, I just want you to delay, maybe even just by a few minutes, what that craving is. And instead, I want you to give your body something nourishing, and then see if you still want it. So if you're able to just say, sure, I can choose to have whatever it is that you're craving, the cookie, the ice cream, the chips. But first I'm going to nourish my body with protein and then see if I still want it. A lot of the times the craving goes away, and maybe it's even hydration. So you could try stalling by having some water or some electrolytes, something hydrating, and then see if you still want the craving. When you deny yourself and you say, I'm not going to allow myself to have that thing that I want, it triggers something in your brain to then want it even more. And then you're fighting biology, because your body could be undernourished. It could actually need fuel, or it could need comfort. And that food is going to provide it. And your body's going to take over and demand that even harder when you deny. So the best thing is to just delay and talk to yourself, but don't deny. Also, if you do have that protein first and then you still have the ice cream or the cookie or the chips, that protein is going to help balance your blood sugar, so it's not going to affect you nearly as much. I want you to ask yourself, what does my body need right now? So when you take that pause before eating the thing that you're craving, instead ask first, when you're delaying, not denying, that during that delay, I want you to say to yourself, what does my body need right now? Without judgment. Because if you're judging yourself or telling yourself, I better not choose the cookie or the ice cream, then your brain is not going to actually cooperate with this. So without judgment, ask yourself, what do I really need? Is it food? Do I actually need a meal? Is it rest? Am I actually tired and I just need to go to bed? Is it a break because you're on overload? Maybe it's a walk or a deep breath or something to bring your central nervous system back into balance. Maybe it's a moment alone. So here's something that you can do in the evening when you are dealing with consistent evening cravings. Create an evening reset. So instead of going straight to the pantry, if that's part of your habit, because a lot of times we do create these habits where we eat dinner, we clean up, and then we sit down in front of the TV or whatever it is that we're doing, but we have a habit of just going to the pantry first. And so we want to break that habit. We want something to interrupt it. So instead of going to do that first, maybe try having a cup of tea, some magnesium to help relax you and get you ready for bed, some stretching. Again, it provides some comfort and relaxation. Maybe it's journaling or reading or a short walk. These are all things that are meant to help support your nervous system so that you're less stressed. And then have satisfying snacks available, because it's a whole lot easier to just grab the chips or the ice cream or the cookie when the healthier snacks take effort or they're not even in your house in the first place. We want to make these things easy. Things like Greek yogurt, full-fat Greek yogurt, chia seed pudding, nuts, hummus and veggies, eggs, cottage cheese, turkey roll-ups, a protein smoothie. These can all be helpful options if you have them on hand and they're easy to grab. Again, we're not denying, we're just delaying. So maybe you have this first and then you check in with yourself. Do I still need that craving? Do I still need to fulfill that craving? A lot of times we feel a lot more balanced and in control when we have the protein snack. And then we don't need to eat the cookies or the ice cream as much. And then remove the guilt. That is not going to help you. The more you feel guilty about the choices you make, the more you stay stuck. Curiosity and just becoming aware without judgment is what is going to actually help you change. All right, here's your action steps. And I want to remind you that this Google Doc is available for free inside of my free Weight Loss After 40 community. So if you're watching this and you want this Google Doc, join the community. The link will be in the description and you'll be able to grab that. Here's the action steps. Add protein to breakfast this week and notice how your cravings feel later in the day. See if it makes a difference. I can tell you most people that do this notice a huge difference. Next thing is to build one balanced lunch with protein, healthy fats, produce, fiber-rich carbs. For me, that looks like a big salad with some olive oil on it for the healthy fat, lots of veggies. The protein might be tuna fish or leftover chicken, something easy. And then it might have some sweet potatoes or some roasted winter vegetables in there as some carbs or maybe a scoop of cottage cheese. So find one thing that's going to work for you for lunch and try it out and see what it feels like to have a full balanced breakfast and then a full balanced lunch. See how it impacts those cravings in the evening. Another idea is before grabbing something sweet at night, pause and ask, what does my body actually need right now? Again, without judgment. And then try the delay, don't deny strategy where you have something nourishing first from that list that we went over, and then you can decide if you still want the treat. It's okay if you still want the treat. We don't want to feel guilty or punish ourselves for having it. Sometimes that's what we need. There are many times when I have gone out for ice cream or had the treat because it's just what I wanted. And the more I deny myself, the more I stay stuck in diet mentality. I want to avoid that. Another thing to do is to create one simple evening reset that doesn't involve food. Maybe you try having some tea or reading or stretching or breathing or journaling or going to bed earlier. Pick one of those things and just try it and see if that interrupts the pattern enough. And notice your most common craving trigger this week. Is it when you're stressed or when you're tired or bored or under eating or lonely? Or is it just a habit? Really get curious this week and see which one of those the craving is coming from. Now, I'll tell you, one of my clients, and actually there's many clients that have had the same type of story, noticed that her evening cravings weren't actually about needing more willpower. It wasn't that she needed to try harder. She was often rushing through the day, not eating enough, maybe skipping lunch a lot of times because she was busy, then finally slowing down at night and feeling completely depleted. And once we focused on balanced meals, getting that protein at breakfast, getting that lunch in, checking in with what she actually needed in the evening and figuring out what it was that was creating this feeling, the cravings started to feel much less intense and eventually went away. She didn't have to be stricter. She didn't need more willpower. She had to be better supported. She had to support her body by nourishing it more. So that's what I want you to remember too. You don't need to shame yourself into change. You need to support your body in a way that makes cravings less loud and healthy choices feel easier. If you want a personalized eating strategy, personalized to you, then click the link in the description below this video and you can book a free 15-minute connection call with me and we can do that together. You've got this. I'm rooting for you. Thanks for watching.